Good afternoon and welcome to the Crabs Lacrosse MIAA Game of the Week. In today's contest, the Lakers of Boys Latin travel to Whittles Field to take on the Cavaliers of Archbishop Spalding. The Lakers come in today's contest with an uncharacteristically slow start to their season, but they hope to get back on track with a victory today. I'm Chris Gunkel, and I'll be bringing you the action alongside my partner, the legendary Hall of Fame coach, Bob Shriver. Coach, can you tell us about the Boys Latin Lakers?
Well, we'll start with number 19, defenseman Matthew Meredith, senior, headed to the University of Richmond. Unbelievable stick skills, but I think today he's going to be tasked with trying to stop Spalding's best player, number 4, Brady Mollett, who's having a phenomenal year. Quick little guy, runs the offense. He's headed to the University of Maryland, and that's one matchup I think we'll enjoy today.
Well, as always, there's a lot of talent on the field, and we're looking forward to a great matchup. We'll be back with starting lineups in just a moment.
The 2026 MIAA Lacrosse Game of the Week is presented by Crabs Lacrosse, Baltimore Crabs, locally grown, nationally known. The Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, personalized strategies for your long-term goals. Kelly Benefits, the official benefits partner of the MIAA Championships. Toyota, the official non-luxury vehicle of the MIAA Championships. Let's go places. CFG Bank, revolutionizing the banking experience. 5 Star, connecting creators, athletes, and the best sports highlights. And Lido Pizza, the preferred pizza of the MIAA.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
The 2026 MIAA Lacrosse Game of the Week is presented by Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis, your Baltimore Annapolis area Lexus dealer. O2 Sports Insurance, the #1 sports insurance in the USA. The town of Ocean City, something to smile about. St. Paul's School for Boys, strong self, shared success. Rehab to Perform, stay ready to perform with Rehab to Perform physical therapy. Don't be left on the sidelines. And Advanced Radiology, trusted by more doctors, preferred by more patients.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
If you're a 2027 lacrosse player and still uncommitted, this is your last real shot. Most good players miss recruiting because they choose the wrong events. This isn't that. The National All-Star Games Uncommitted 2027 is the final recruiting event of the summer. Coaches come here to complete their classes. For a lot of players, this is where it could finally happen. If you're serious about playing in college, apply now.
All right, welcome to Whittles Field on the campus of Archbishop Spalding as we get ready for a critical mid-season matchup as the Lakers of Boys Latin take on the Cavaliers of Archbishop Spalding as we get ready, Coach, for the starting lineups brought to us by Toyota. Don't let the record fool you. There's a lot of talent here with this crew.
Well, on offense, TJ Shaw is their leading scorer for Boys Latin. He's a solid player. Cold Air Dose, number 45, is a short stick defensive mid. He also extremely good. Matt Meredith, we talked about him at the outset, one of their best defensive players. Boys Latin and Spalding are actually going in opposite directions.
And to that point, Coach, we now see the starting lineup for the Cavaliers.
Brady Mollett, we talked about him a second ago. He's the party starter. He's their leading scorer. It's clearly one of the best offensive players in the league. Zach Gutierrez and Brody Moss are quality midfielders. Looks like they're going to start a new goaltender today, sophomore Braden Golubowski.
Yeah, that they are. So Golubowski headed to St. John's, getting his first start of the year. Great weather. We've been lucky as this is the Crabs Lacrosse second MIAA game of the week as we get ready for the Rogers Knapp group of Merrill Lynch starting face-off. As you see the teams shake hands, goalies go to their respective positions. Coach, as we've spoken about a lot, don't look at the records. I think we have a great one on hand today.
Yeah, I apologize. Golubowski is a junior, but this is his first start this year. He played quite a bit in their Severn game last week and played extremely well. So Coach Hochul's giving him a shot.
Yeah, he is. As we have both teams down now. Boys Latin dressed in the dark jerseys, going to be heading from right to left, Spalding obviously in white, heading from left to right as that faceoff is won by Cooper Johnson. And we're going to see the Cavaliers on offensive first. Coach, what can we expect from them?
Well, number 4, I keep using this term, the party starter. Number 4 is their best player. He's a terrific attackman, equally as good dodging and feeding. They run some very nice offensive patterns and do not hesitate to throw the ball into the crease.
Yeah, as you see, Spalding getting started quickly. You have Mollett behind. Mollett, really shifty players. Coach mentioned he's heading to the University of Maryland. Really difficult cover, quick feet, great hands, dangerous all the way around as he has his defender hold up. Looking for cutters inside the crease as we're just underway here at Whittles Field at Archbishop Spalding. Shot wide there from Adam Schwab. Backed up, though. Possession remains with the Cavaliers.
Boys Latin's got a big break today, number 44 right now on the ball. Bryce Barrett, a really good defenseman, hasn't played in about the last 4 or 5 games for Boys Latin, so he's back out. That's a big bonus for BL. He's a really good player headed to the University of Maryland.
Yeah, Coach, right there we've seen this quite a bit from Spalding where they set that pick at goal line extended for Mollett. Mollett open momentarily, but cut off nicely. Now Lakers first possession of this afternoon. Coach, you mentioned like with BL, a lot of talent, but not necessarily, as you like to say, a party starter. Someone that is that alpha offensive player. Is it getting better as the season progresses, or is it still going to be an offense by committee?
I think it's offense by committee. That's what they've done pretty well all year. When they've been successful, it's been definitely by committee.
Offense initiated up top, and that's Cooper Reed, the sophomore that saw a lot of time last year as a freshman. Up top to Joey Keller. He reverses it far side, and we're going to get started again with a dodge across the middle. Spalding coach right now playing great defense, stick in hands, not a lot of switching necessary. But just like that, you're going to see a goal from number 8, Kemp Kelly, At the 9:44 mark in the first period, nothing complicated, Coach. Just a run towards the middle, no slide,
Well,
easy conversion.
Kelly's a natural righty, and so on the scattering report, Spalding has him as a right-hander. That time he switched to his left hand and got to the middle of the field and made a really nice bounce shot past Golubowski. Had some pace on it, off stick.
We're going to have Johnson for Cavaliers against Hoffman once again. Johnson won the first one. Round 2 underway. Hoffman pushes it forward. Can't get the ground ball. Picked up quickly, though, by Spalding. Still battle for it at midfield. Nice hustle by the Lakers. Hoffman comes out of it. Now he's running unabated towards the cage. Hoffman goes all the way in. Coach misses wide. Possession with the Lakers. Quinn Lynch starting with it. Back up top to Keller. Keller, player, Coach, headed to Loyola. Known primarily as a smart player, but also with a great shot.
Yeah, he's got a cannon for a shot. He has a tendency to shoot high a little bit too much in the games I've seen.
Lynch around the cage, gets his hands free. Deflected before it makes it to Golubowski. Picked up nicely there by Carson Blair. Blair with great speed is going to be able to clear easily as Spalding now gets set with their reserves.
Carson Blair, the senior, headed to UMBC. Coach Hockel talked about him before the game. Thinks he's absolutely one of the best defensive middies in the league, if not the best, in his opinion.
Coach, let's talk about pace a little bit. Each team likes to play with a certain style. Spalding's going to probably play offense at what type of pace?
Much quicker than Boys Latin. And again, one of the things they have is somebody behind the goal in Mollett who is clearly capable of getting a lot of attention from the defensive personnel at Boys Latin.
Yeah, it's interesting, Coach. They drag Mollett up top. Mollett being played by Meredith as the ball continues to move quickly. Ball hits the ground, though, picked up by Spalding, and they'll maintain possession.
They got Shaw stuck on defense, number 17, BL Attackman, stuck down here on defense. Most teams would look at that matchup and try to exploit it.
Nice save there by Blake Connor. Connor out of the cage looking for help. Spalding doing a customary ride. I only bring that up, Coach, because 10-man has become the thing, not only at the collegiate level, but now in high school.
Well, the 10-man ride had nothing to do with that play there. Boys Latin threw the ball. It was a bad pass. Skipped past Meredith, but that's been an ongoing problem this year for Boys Latin. They've really struggled to be consistent, with their catching and throwing.
Yeah, we're going to watch that matchup all day as you have Meredith covering Mollett. Two heavyweights. Meredith headed to Richmond. Mollett headed to the University of Maryland. Nice job there defensively. Ball hits the turf, being battled for. This is one of those big-time, first-time ground balls. Let's see who can come away with it. Spalding does, as it's pulled out nicely by Zach Gutierrez. Fresh clock for the Cavaliers, Coach, as they continue to have trouble, like you had mentioned, with possession, meaning ball dropping constantly. Gutierrez can't get his hands free.
Gutierrez wants to come back to his left. They got two really good left-handed shooters in Gutierrez and Schwab over here on the right side wearing number 0.
Yeah, Mollett got the switch he wanted. He rolls back out to Gutierrez. Gutierrez back to Mollett. Mollett hand-free drops the plane of this shot. Nice save there, though.
They reset that. He got a piece of it. They reset it to 60. Schwab scored 5 goals the other day, the one that just made that pass against Severin. He kind of camps out right there on that left-handed shooter spot, and he can bring the heat.
Gavin Carpenter up top with it as he gets ready to dodge. Little right-to-right stutter step, gets inside the teeth of the defense. Another great save there by Blake Connor. He loses possession back to Spalding.
I'm not sure. The guy, Connor, has his left foot in the crease, and they pushed him, and this referee, they're huddling up, try to get it right. Always a good idea.
So to your point, Coach, but in your opinion, possession should stay with BL.
Well, and there should be a penalty. BL had the ball, and it looked like the goalie had his left foot in the crease when he got pushed by the Spalding defender. Now they're talking about it.
Coach Connor seems to be off to a hot starting cage for BL. What can you tell us about him?
Well, Blake's a really tough kid. He's an excellent football player. Had a great year playing football. Blake went to school here as a freshman and transferred to Boys Latin. So this game has a lot of meaning for Blake.
Doesn't look.
He's explaining to Farrell that allegedly, it looks like, that they thought that Blake lifted his left foot off the ground and then stepped back into the crease. Now, there was some physical contact there, and I'm not so sure that was handled really. They huddled up and did the right thing.
The way Spalding gets a fresh 80 with that possession. Mollett sweeps the top of the box. Nice defense there applied by Bryce Barrett. You mentioned Coach Barrett is a player that plays kind of everywhere on the field for BL. He'll play down low, he'll play up top, depending upon what's going on with another great save there by Connor. Rebound picked up by Barrett, and BL's going to clear.
Look at this. They struggle to catch and throw. BL does. They've got 6 seconds to get the ball over the midline.
And that they do, as BL is going to clear easily and get ready for the next possession. It's shot wide by Keller, but backed up by BL, and they'll maintain possession with 5:19 left to go here in the first period.
Well, Keller just shot that on the ground. He likes to shoot high, so that's probably a good sign for Boys Latin. Mix it up a little bit.
Coach, when you talk to people about BL offensively, one of the things they say is smaller players, but very athletic and difficult to cover. Would you concur?
Some of them, yeah, absolutely.
Errant pass there by BL, picked up nicely by Carson Blair. Blair has gotten off to a good start here, doing exactly what he's doing now, which is clearing by himself. Cavaliers on possession. Typically like to play, as Coach said, they like to run, but they're not shy and are able to play a slower pace if need be. Gutierrez starts with it, left to left dodge, pops back out to Moss. Moss reverses it to the other side of the field. Back behind it goes to the quarterback, Mollett. Mollett challenged by Meredith. Meredith laying heavy stick on hands. Errant pass, and Meredith does a nice job there, Coach. Stick on hands, forcing that errant pass. Possession back to BL. Higgins with possession is down now under the 4-minute mark in the first period.
77 Burgess, just a sophomore. Higgins also a sophomore. 77's, he's not a big young man, Blake Burgess, but he's got some very, very significant skills.
Yeah, as you see that footwork there on display. Nice job, though, by Braylon Jones. Short stick D midi for Spalding, not needing help. Quinn Lynch working behind the cage, quickly reverses it over to Finn Higgins. Back up top it goes to Aiden Kenny. Burgess now operating up top. Burgess maintains that short stick. The midi, Joey Keller, hard down the left-hand side. Slide comes quickly. He reverses back up behind. Ball goes to the opposite side of the field where Burgess will try to do some work. Boy, wow, that is just, Coach, that's fantastic defense there by Braylon Jones. Spalding's going to have a fast break as they have numbers. Jones quickly over to Mollett. Mollett runs to his right. Shot misses wide. Backed up, though, by Spalding. Kind of shocked Mollett didn't one more down low. Instead, he held and scraped up top. I think that hurt their opportunity for a clean shot.
It was a pure 4-on-3. Boys Latin got very lucky there.
Either way, possession maintained by Spalding. Spalding, I don't have the figures for you, but I would say that they've had the advantage in the possession so far.
Oh, my,
beginning of this
big
game.
Time. I think they've probably taken 6 or 7 shots already. Connor's been up to the task so far, though.
Top it goes, drive down the left-hand side. is Gavin Carpenter. Carpenter trying to get on the inside. He cannot. We're seeing some great individual defense by both teams so far here in the first quarter, as Carpenter has it now behind the cage as we're getting it close to 20 on the shot clock. Carpenter comes around, can't get his hands free. Shot! Misses the cage, backed up nicely there by Mollett.
Well, one thing that's impressive with Spalding is how much they move their bodies and the ball. Everybody's moving on offense. Creates a lot of good opportunities for them. They just had a good one there.
Shot blocked before it gets inside. Mollett picks it up. Great save there by Connor, and the hustle pays off nicely by Barrett, as BL is going to start with their clear.
This is another player, number 1, Drew McDonald, has not played 1 minute of lacrosse this year. He's out on the field, so Boys Latin's got 2 good players back today in Barrett and McDonald.
Well, we got 2 good players, and you also have 2 brothers out there, as you have the Keller brothers. Joey and Connor, you mentioned number 51 was set to get some time, and he's getting that right now. Danny Fick, number 66, is in the game as Connor Keller has it.
Number 20, big, aggressive defender.
Ball gets behind the Keller. Keller tries to get his hands free. Nice attack there by Goluboski. Connor would have been well served there, coach, to do the old fake high, go low, change the play into stick. Spalding now in transition. Wild shot there. Another great save, though, picked up by Mollett. He's going to be back out as there's 35 seconds left to kill in the opening period. Mollett dragging Meredith behind.
Going to be comfortable with the last shot here. They're under 17 seconds.
Here we go as Mollett comes down hard to his right, gets top side. Another ball batted down in the middle of the field as BL gets physical on the inside. Loose ball picked up by the Lakers. 5 seconds left to go as they are looking to try to get something going offensively. Keller has it. He lets one go. It's not going to hit cage. Hey, Coach, that's the first period here in the books. Low scoring one, but a good one as we head to break. Boys Latin on top, 1-0.
If you're a 2027 lacrosse player and still uncommitted, this is your last real shot. Most good players miss recruiting because they choose the wrong events. This isn't that. The National All-Star Games Uncommitted 2027 is the final recruiting event of the summer. Coaches come here to complete their classes. For a lot of players, this is where it could finally happen. If you're serious about playing in college, apply now.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
What happens when a world-class luxury vehicle meets a luxurious first-class facility? You call it Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis. Right now, visit us in-store and choose from a great selection of new Lexus vehicles. Or build your own deal however you want and wherever you are at SheehyLexusOfAnnapolis.com. With an unmatched combination of selection, service, and purchasing flexibility, it's never been easier to find the perfect Lexus at Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis.
All right, welcome back to Whittles Field on the campus of Archbishop Spalding as we get ready for this face-off brought to you by the Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch. BL with a 1-0 lead. And Coach, it's tight as always in the MIAA standings.
Well, right now, Calvert Hall, Loyola, Spalding, and McDonough are looking pretty good for one of the 6 or 4 of the 6 playoff spots. And then down at the bottom, it'll come down to the end.
Yeah, as Coach said, it typically does. It does come down to the end, and you typically have to play the last game as we have a quick restart. Possession goes back to Spalding, and they turn it back over. And BL has position as Barrett picks it up, but Barrett has a hard time getting rid of it, but it looks like
Schwab
they're going to maintain
job.
possession.
Yeah, Schwab, number 0 for Spalding, did a nice job riding, got his stick on the ball. Well, Barrett's influenced this game already a couple times, which is a good sign for Boys Latin because he's a solid player.
So Coach, Spalding, clearing traditional, meaning Goluboski stays in the cage, but it still appears like BL's having a difficult time clearing it cleanly. Any particular reason, you think?
No, it's been an ongoing issue all year. So
I think it's an ongoing issue with the league in general. A lot of
yeah,
teams are struggling with that right now.
Interesting.
Keller, they do a little give and go on the inside, can't get a shot, but they do now. Goluboski, great save as he goes high, quick outlet.
Big save by Goluboski there. That was some really quality offense by Boys Latin.
Braylon Jones with great speed. Not only catches it, but clears it on his own. We were talking about this at the break. You think, or it's your opinion, sometimes left-handed goalies have an advantage against the shooters.
A lot of teams don't have a left-handed goalie on their roster, so they seldom practice against one. And then all of a sudden you show up in a game and you got one staring you down. And it's different.
Difficult to make that adjustment. As we look at Moss, start with it up top. Goes hard down the left-hand alley. He's going to get inside, get his hands free, and he is going to convert to get Spalding on the board to tie it at 1-1. Nothing fancy there, Coach. I think BL thought he might try to dip on the inside or redodge, but he didn't. As you see here, he just keeps going straight. No slide, easy conversion.
Yeah, great shot. Moss is a really good player. He's their team's from the midfield, second leading scorer. He only has 3 assists, so when he gets the ball, he's going to the rack. That was his 29th goal of the year. Pretty impressive for a midfielder.
Yeah, that it was, and we have a tight one here as the score is now tied 1-1 as this faceoff is brought to you by the Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch. Possession now back to Spalding. So Spalding playing a little bit of make it, take it, Coach.
Well, that was a violation on Boys Latin's face-off man. Number 11, Bryce Moore. He will not be able to take the next face-off.
First
part of the new rule, which is a good one. Instead of 3 face-off violations and a half, you get 30-second timeout. If you miss a face-off, you can't, or you violate a face-off, you can't come back in for the next one. It's a good rule.
Ball moving crisply by the Cavaliers as they bring out their first-line middies once again, led by Brody Moss, who had the last goal. Ball gets reversed to the wing. Abala coming around the cage. He surprises Meredith, and he is able to beat Connor high, and the Cavaliers are on a 3-goal lead and now lead 3-1.
Well, a guy like Mollett, we talk about him, he's great with and without the ball. If you watch this replay, Mollett is coming around left-handed, and Meredith is guilty of chasing him from behind. Watch, Meredith's going to sneak down behind the goal. Now he's behind him. Great play by Mollett. You're better off standing in front of the cage and going across the goal mouth to meet Mollett where he got that ball.
Yeah, great observation, Coach. And sometimes in that set you can get a defender hung up, but you'd rather have that than the result that we just saw there. Johnson push it forward. He's unable to pick it up as Hoffman picks it up. Hoffman has good speed, decides that he doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to pull back out. And he's going to let the defense now. He's going to let the offense take over.
This is Danny Fick. He's getting the pole. He is somebody that can break the defense down pretty well. Cooper Reed, just a sophomore.
Cooper Reed, though, as you can see, athletic midi, great speed, great change of direction, really puts a lot of pressure on you defensively. Fick trying to get on the inside. He can't get his hands free, so he moves it back over to Reed. Reed charging with his left hand, rolls back to his right.
Could be a cross check. He's sticking that stick pretty hard on him. Blair's a very aggressive defensive midi and a good one.
Back behind it goes. BL wants to get their offense set up. They do get top side. Now they try to reverse it back behind to Kemp Kelly, who had the first goal and only goal for BL. Errant pass. Coach, you've noted this has been a problem for BL all year. Possession back to the Cavaliers.
Well, defenseman Hines, number 20 there. Navy commit. He put a lot of pressure on Lynch. Lynch fell down and tried to throw it off his
Coach, on that particular instance, BL actually went to not a 10-man, but maybe a 9.5. It sped Spalding up. They threw the ball out of bounds. We initially thought possession back to BL. Referee saying no, it was tipped. Possession remains here with the Cavaliers.
Maybe later we might be able to run that one back and see who that went off of. They were pretty definitive with the call.
First line middies back in again for Cavaliers as Blake Morris throws it over to Gavin Carpenter. Carpenter right to left, comes down the alley. Barrett picks him up as he goes back to Moss. Moss gets his hands free. Left-hand shot, though, misses the cage, backed up by Mollett.
Moss, another of Spalding's Navy commits. They have 4 Navy commits on this roster.
Mollett gets the pick behind Meredith, though, does a really nice job of getting through that and staying on hands, and he's rewarded with a moving pick. Connor picks it up, and he's going to start the clear for the Lakers. Ryan Whitman, coach number 18 for BL. You don't hear from him a lot, but has a reputation of being a very good on-ball defender.
Yeah, just a sophomore. Good size young man. I think he's got a nice future.
Aiden Kenny with possession for the Lakers. Just under 7 minutes here in the second period. Tight one here at Whittles Field, as we expected. Reverse to the far side here with Keller. Keller right to left, down the left-hand alley. Moves it back behind. Top side it goes. Initially, I thought it went in. Goluboski saves it. Quick clear up to Braylon Jones. We've seen this a lot already today. Jones left to right. Now gets onto the inside. What a save by Blake Connor. I thought that was a given goal. Connor goes to his knees and makes the save.
We're seeing some quality goaltending today so far.
Yeah,
I think Goluboski got a piece of that shot down at the other end.
NBL still having a hard time getting it over the midline.
They're offsides. Boys, lads, offsides.
Yeah, they're calling for it.
They missed it.
And maybe I hear the whistle blow.
Coach Farrell called a timeout.
He got a timeout, but you were right, Coach. They were offsides. We're going to take a timeout, but please come back to join us as we had a tight one but a good one here with Spalding on top, 2-1.
What happens when a world-class luxury vehicle meets a luxurious first-class facility? You call it Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis. Right now, visit us in-store and choose from a great selection of new Lexus vehicles. Or build your own deal however you want and wherever you are at SheehyLexusOfAnnapolis.com. With an unmatched combination of selection, service, and purchasing flexibility, it's never been easier to find the perfect Lexus at Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis.
All right, back to live action here at Whittles Field on the campus of Archbishop Spalding as the Cavaliers hold a narrow 2-1 lead over the Lakers of BL. Coach, we've seen a lot of good lacrosse, but we were commenting nothing better than the goaltending, though, on both sides.
So far, Goluboski and Connor are doing a great job. Here's Boys Latin's commits. You see Barrett, he's back playing today for the first time. Santa Ana Caraco's out for the year. It would appear he broke his hand before the season started. Matt Meredith headed to Richmond. Shaw going to Georgetown. It's a good group, but, you know, in terms of big-time programs, I think probably Spalding has a little bit edge there. They got 4 kids going to Navy. Mollett's going to Maryland. You know, they got some quality.
Yeah, but still an impressive list there by BL. And year in and year out, they do such a great job with the program. They develop players in the right way. And inevitably, they tend to send a lot of players everywhere, but a lot to the Division I levels. You now get a chance to see the D1 college commits for Spalding.
Well, the 2 UMBC kids, Carson Blair's had a big influence on this game already. Tremendous defensive midi.
We see
another save.
Another
Look
great
at this
save there
goaltending
by Goluboski. Goluboski looking for help.
That was a quality chance for Boys Latin. About 7-8 yards, a good bounce shot. Goluboski was up to the task.
That he was, and he's been that way most of the first half, except just letting one in for Kemp Kelly for BL. Coach, a little bit about clearing. You know, it's like a rule of thumb that you typically don't want to clear box side. Why would that be?
Well, most people are subbing in and out of that box, and that can be extremely dangerous for one of your players. You know, somebody coming out of the box that you don't recognize, they throw you the ball and you're right at the box, you can get pulverized pretty quickly. So a lot of people say, get it away from the box. You have more space. So clear away from the box. There's too much activity at the box.
Ball reversed over to Carpenter. We got quick ball movement here. Moss trying to get his hands free. He does. Low to high, misses a cage. Backed up by Mollett. They want to play quick. Mollett looking for a restart. He gets it. Comes hard, gets top side. Meredith stays on his hands. Ball gets reversed behind. Nice job there defensively as we're now getting down to 10 seconds. As we see Gutierrez back to Mollett. Mollett looking for help. He can't get it. They concede. Great defensive stand by BL. BL starts the clear with Connor. Connor, as we just noted, they opt to clear at box side, but no substitutions, Coach. No problem. Easy clear for the Lakers.
I think by that time, when that ball was thrown, Spalding had made their defensive subs, so there wasn't as much activity as you typically see around the box.
Ball behind now with Finn Higgins. Moves back up top to Burgess. Burgess back to TJ Shaw. Shaw decides he's going to initiate. A little giving to go there with Burgess. Old school, great play, still works. 77, Burgess converts 2-2.
Well, this is a beautiful little play. It looks like Burgess is going to set a pick for Shaw, but instead watch this. There's 77, he stops, and then he runs to the goal and just dunks it past Goluboski before he had a chance to set up. A really nifty little play by Boys Latin.
Really is. You don't see that a lot, Coach. A lot of the offensives now are very scripted and choreographed, but old school things still work. Simple things still work.
Well, that's a play that they work on. They slip the pick effectively.
Ball being battled for, gets pushed back into the Spalding defensive zone. Picked up there, though, by Cooper Johnson. Goluboski's going to be in trouble here. I thought he was going to get that intercepted. Boy, he gets lucky. Spalding's going to be able to clear easily with Moss. He's a dangerous player when he's in the wide open, but he opts to pull back out and wait for his teammates. Almost down to the 3-minute mark here. Great one on hand, great weather, great lacrosse.
Yeah. There's a timeout by Spalding. Good timeout. Coach Hockle still had 2. There's 3 minutes left in this half. We're tied at 2 and a solid game here at Archbishop Spalding High School.
If you're a 2027 lacrosse player and still uncommitted, this is your last real shot. Most good players miss recruiting because they choose the wrong events. This isn't that. The National All-Star Games Uncommitted 2027 is the final recruiting event of the summer. Coaches come here to complete their classes. For a lot of players, this is where it could finally happen. If you're serious about playing in college, apply now.
Crabs team.
All right, we're back to live action here as we get set for the final push right before halftime. Coach, you were commenting to me that a great game, but you notice BL's doing one thing very well, not only schematically, but executing upon it defensively.
Mollitt gets the ball. He's so shifty and quick. He can go around the right side from behind and the left side from behind, which we saw he scored a nice goal without the ball coming from behind. But when he gets the ball, Boys Lad's really paying attention to him. And if he gets even a half a step on his defender, they will slide. So best way to beat that is as soon as that slide comes is for Mollitt to get, and he does, get the ball out of his stick, and they can zing it maybe to the other side of the field and attack downhill.
I think, to me, one of the challenges about playing Spalding or defending Spalding is they can initiate from various points offensively. It's not just with Mollitt behind. It could be with Moss and others up top. They can do it from the wing. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Absolutely.
All right, we get started here for the final push before halftime. Moss has it up top. Goes hard down that right-hand alley. Ball gets behind a Mollitt. Mollitt quickly back up top. Sweep to the right by Ryan Sullivan. Back it goes to Sullivan, reversed over to Gutierrez. Gutierrez pushes down the left-hand side. Good defensive there defensively. Mollitt now coming hard right. He earns that switch as he now has a short stick on him. Let's see if they take advantage of it. Push from behind, and that's going to be a penalty. As Colt Erdos, coach, just got a little bit too aggressive.
Absolutely. He had Mollitt going where he wanted him to go, which is behind the goal. Mollitt just a little stop and go there. It's a nice play by Mollitt, actually forcing Erdos, kind of forcing that penalty on Erdos.
That's an easy one if you're a referee. No questions about that one. I'm sure there's not going to be any argument from the BL staff as we get ready for the rehab to perform extra man. And it's going to be a 30-second penalty.
Starting in a circle. Then they'll move into a 3-3 set. They love shooter 0 Schwab down there in the left-hand shooter spot.
Ball back up top. This extra man opportunity brought to us by Rehab to Perform as the ball hits the pipe.
Shot clock
and
reset.
Rolls out, and we have a shot clock reset as we're down to 1:55 here in the first half.
Penalties up, even up.
Ball behind it goes to Mollitt. Mollitt gets top side over to Moss. Moss was ready to let that one go. He can't. He wants it back for a second opportunity. Still can't be picked up. He gets it, quick release, but he's going to throw it back out of bounds. And BL survives the first extra man opportunity of the day to go get possession, and we're back in the clearing game.
They're going to be offside again. No, he's back on. He's on.
Yeah, they're going to be okay.
And Boys Latin has a timeout in their pocket if Coach Farrell deems it necessary. And look at that. They threw another pass out of bounds.
Another
nobody
pass.
On.
And you see Coach Farrell literally jump up and down as you could sense his frustration. And if they're not careful, they're going to have numbers here against them. And Berger, no one picks him up. He makes them pay. Unforced error results in a 3-2 lead for
Well, you know,
Cavaliers.
I have seen BL play quite a few games this year, and that's been a very common theme. That's a simple 15-yard pass that wasn't completed. You got this big mammoth 23 coming down, stepping down.
Yeah.
Pretty simple and almost an impossible thing if those poles throw the ball on the goal to get a piece of it.
Yeah, Vincent Berger, just a sophomore, plays a lot for this Cavalier team. You can see he's more than just a defender. He's actually an offensive threat. As we get set here for this faceoff, that's pushed forward by Johnson.
Hockle now has a timeout, and there he is calling it.
Yeah, there's a coach. Coach, you still got it. You saw it before it actually happened. And Spalding is going to take a timeout, and I soon get set for this final position. Please come back to us for this final minute. We have a good one here. Spalding, 3-2.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
All right, back to live action here. And coming up at half, please stay tuned. We have a great interview with the Archbishop Spalding AD, John Mellinger, who has done a fantastic job here in all sports and certainly a great partner with all things related to lacrosse. And Coach, we went to break and you said, that's BL season in a nutshell. What were you referring to?
Well, the 15-yard pass, nobody's being covered. Guy's wide open, and somebody throws the ball into the ground, goes out of bounds. And that has happened time and time again this year for Boys Latin. And, you know, what's the first thing as a lacrosse player you hope you can do? Catch and throw. And BL, a couple times today, hasn't executed that very fundamental part of the game. And Spalding here is going to be content on eating the time up off the clock, making sure Boys Latin doesn't get an opportunity to get it back before half. They want to finish this half with a good shot on goal, and in Spalding's case, they sure hope it ends up in the net.
Yeah, shot clock will not be a factor here as Moss, with Barrett on him, brings it back up top. As Spalding's been fairly deliberate in their approach as they get started now in their offense. Goes behind, fake shot, roll back around. Great defensive there by the Lakers. Ball gets reversed. Inside it goes. Oh, great slide there defensively. That might have been an instant goal as Merrill brings it out. But that's the way the first half is going to end. And we've said it multiple times. We anticipated a great one. We have got a great one. It's a tight one with Spalding on the lead by a score of 3-2. This has been a battle of goalies and a battle of will, and so far, Spalding on top. Please enjoy.
If you're a 2027 lacrosse player and still uncommitted, this is your last real shot. Most good players miss recruiting because they choose the wrong events. This isn't that. The National All-Star Games Uncommitted 2027 is the final recruiting event of the summer. Coaches come here to complete their classes. For a lot of players, this is where it could finally happen. If you're serious about playing in college, apply now.
What happens when a world-class luxury vehicle meets a luxurious first-class facility? You call it Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis. Right now, visit us in-store and choose from a great selection of new Lexus vehicles. Or build your own deal however you want and wherever you are at SheehyLexusOfAnnapolis.com. With an unmatched combination of selection, service, and purchasing flexibility, it's never been easier to find the perfect Lexus at Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis.
All right, we're here with John Mellinger, Athletic Director for Archbishop Spalding. John, thanks for having us as always. We really appreciate it.
I'm really glad you guys are here. It's a good day for some lacrosse.
It really is. And John, I have a series of questions for you. The first one would be, can you just give us an update overall on the athletic program in general?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're in the playoff push right now. So we've got a lot of teams right now that are in really good positions to either have a first round bye, which we're always shooting for, or to host a quarterfinal. So softball is playing really well. We're in the midst of a 4-game stretch this week with conference play. Girls lacrosse is in probably the toughest slate that they've had so far. So we've got Notre Dame Prep tomorrow, and then we play Maryville at home, who we played in the championship game last year. So they're in a good spot. And then baseball is playing Loyola this week in a 3-game stretch. And obviously we've got boys lacrosse going here too, and track's gearing up for championships as well. So a lot of exciting things happening here on campus. Well,
not only a lot of exciting things, but in the past several years, the success at Spalding has been undeniable. Do you attribute that to anything individually or no?
I think we've got a lot of consistency when it comes to coaching. I really do. So you get a coach in here that's able to put in their mindset and their mantra that follows the mission of the school, and you're going to have some success, right? So Coach Hockel has been around our program for a long time, and obviously we're talking lacrosse. So, we made it to the championship game this past year, and we were just 1 goal shy, played a great Calvert Hall team. But I think that consistency really makes a big difference when it comes to preparing for championship teams.
So you mentioned the mission of the school. I'd like to touch on that when we get back in just a few minutes. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
We'll be back to our interview in just a few moments.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa! Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
We're back with John Mellinger, Head Athletic Director for Archbishop Spalding. John, you mentioned the mission of the school. I would love the audience to know more about how athletics supports the overall mission of the school.
Absolutely. About 73% of our student body is involved in some type of sport, right? At least one. We probably about 20 or 30% of the student population participates in 2 sports. And so it's a really big part of student life. And so as we're preparing our student athletes to go on to college, be good global citizens, the athletic program really plays a pivotal role because you learn so many life lessons and challenges through athletics.
To me, Spalding is in a proximity where it can host a lot of big events, whether it be affiliated with the school or outside of the school. We spoke about that briefly as we were getting to know one another today. Can you talk a little bit about some of those events that have been here on campus?
Absolutely. I think our biggest advantage is we're close to BWI. So you have big college programs. They're looking for a place to practice. They're looking for a place to play. But we also have great partners. So we had a great opportunity to have Harvard and UNC men's lacrosse, a top 5 matchup here on campus. And it just brings a level of intensity and just community support that you really want to have. So having 3,000 fans here, top level lacrosse this past spring. We have football teams that come in here and practice before they go play Navy. It really is a good destination to host these big level teams.
Well, I was there and I loved it, and I hope to be back again for another event. John, thank you again. Continued success. We hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Go Cavs.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
All right, welcome back to live action here as Archbishop Spalding holds a slim 3-2 lead over the Lakers of Boys Latin as we get set to view some statistics from first half, and these statistics brought to us by the Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch. Before that, we will take a look at highlights. As primarily, Coach, I think it's probably best to say we've just seen some great goaltending, not necessarily bad offense, but great goaltending.
Yeah, both goalies have been really on their game. This is Moss. Watch this ball right up into the far corner. You can't let Moss get a half a step on you. He's too fast. Great play by Molly coming from behind without the ball. And this was a beautiful goal that Boys Latin scored when he 77 slipped the pick. Boys Latin made a mistake at one end, and beautiful capitalization from that mistake by Spalding with the pole. Number 23, Vincent Berger, with a beautiful step down with the long stick.
Yeah, and these halftime stats brought to us by the Rogers Knapp Group. Coach, anything that surprises you there, or does this tell the story that we've been talking about all first half?
Yeah, Spalding's got a few more shots on goal. I'm not so sure there haven't been a few more saves by both goaltenders, because the goaltending's been exceptional in this game, as the 3-2 score might indicate. But, you know, it's pretty standard. You know, it's a one-goal game, and the stats are, you know, pretty even.
Yeah, I would think, to me, Coach, that probably the differentiator, and we don't have the stat for this, has been probably the number of unforced errors by BL have provided more opportunities for Spalding, and they've been able to take advantage of it, but they're right there in it as we get ready to head into this second half, and we're going to have our first face-off that's brought to us once again by the Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch as both players get set. It's been a great first half battle by Hoffman for BL and Cooper Johnson for the Cavaliers of Spalding. And Johnson's going to do a nice job there picking it up. Looks like he was going to flip it forward. Barrett negates that. Spalding now going to get set and clear as we're just underway here in the second half. Boy, ill-advised move there by Carson Blair. Somehow he gets out of it, Coach.
That's a lot of poise on Blair's part right there. He went over the midline, and then he came back across, and a lot of people said that's back court, or, you know, it's a violation. No, because they cleared the ball before the 20-second clearing clock ran out. They got it across the line.
Carpenter going to start it for the Cavaliers. He goes right to right. Comes down the middle of the field, but met there quickly by Caden Hoffman, who's still in the field after facing off. Shot, and another great save there by Carpenter. Oh, great stick there by Merrill. Merrill gets pushed. Dangerous pass there, but
that was a slick play by Meredith, picking that ball out of the air down there.
And Barrett's got it in the middle of the field. He's looking for help. He's going to take it by himself. Gets through the teeth of the defense, showing great footwork and great stick work. Oh, great look on the inside.
He had room and time. Kelly did right there. He didn't show much poise in front of the goal. It's too bad. That was a really nice play by Boys Latin. Had Spalding in an unsettled situation. I don't know that Kemp realized he had as much time as he did.
Yeah, I don't think he did, but great unsettled offense here, kind of that phase 2 offense off the break. As Fick now gets it coming out of the box, hard drive down the left-hand side. He takes a shot, off the pipe it goes, but backed up there by Keller. Keller quickly back to Fick, who's had the know if he's had the hot hand, Coach, but he's been able to win his matchup most of the first half. Back behind it goes. Possession there to Kelly. Kelly doesn't get the easy one, but he gets the hard one coming around to the left. And we're all tied here at 3-3.
Well, that's his second left-handed goal. I want to emphasize he's a righty by nature. 20, I believe, was a Spalding defenseman, tried to get his stick in that passing lane, knocked it down, but he wasn't able. No, that was a shorty, number 19, Jones. He didn't get that ball, tried to pick it off, and then Kelly got to the front of the cage.
Yeah, kind of surprised there, Coach. There was no slide from the Spalding defense. You think they were surprised, or is that the way they just were going to play it? And face-off there is going to go back to Spalding as we're now tied at 3. First line set to come on as Moss receives it. Followed by 17, Carpenter, and number 8, Blake Morris. Moss initiates up top. Hard drive down the left-hand side. He doesn't pass. He decides to shoot. I wonder if that surprised Connor, as Connor has been on it all day. We didn't have a lot of scoring in the first half. Now we have 2 right away, Coach.
Well, there's Moss doing exactly what he did in the first half for a goal, driving down that left-hand alley. He's a natural righty, but he has wonderful ability. Beautiful shot, low and away. His first goal was high over Connor's shoulder. That time, I'm sure Connor was thinking maybe he's coming high, and he got that down low and away. Moss is he's a load. That's his 30th goal of the year for Mitty. That's outstanding.
New faceoff man in for BL. That's number 28, Alonzo Wallace. He's going to give it a shot against Cooper Johnson. Johnson pulls it behind. Wallace, though, athletic Mitty, applies some pressure momentarily as Mollett gets it and says, hey, get out of my way. I'm going to challenge Meredith here. But he decides to pull it back out. Get the offense set as we have those first-line middies back out again.
Facing off, Johnson, number 2, headed to Flagler University, an up-and-coming D2 program on the east coast of Florida. They've got a lot of really nice kids, and they've got a fair amount of kids out of the MIAA that are going to Flagler now.
Up top, it's with Adam Schwab. Ball gets reversed behind now to Mollett. Mollett against Meredith. Mollett stumbles. Meredith takes advantage of it. Stick check and a beauty as he picks up not only the ground ball but shows off that stick work that he's known for. And BL now on the clear, which has been somewhat of an adventure today. Up top it goes now to Fick. Fick clears easily. And BL is going to draw penalty as Spalding now is offside. So they have some free offense here as Keller has it. He can't get his hands free. And we're going to play a little 7-on-6 here, Coach. 7 defenders for Spalding, 6 players for BL.
Now, I'm not sure it was 17, one of the defenders that was offsides, because if he wasn't, it should be 2 penalties.
Yeah, that's a great point there as Fick still has it. Fick gets a help screen up top, gets his shot hands free. Save there by Goluboski as he goes low to get it. But BL now is going to be man up for up to 30. As we get set for this rehab to perform extra man opportunity.
Well, I don't see who's in the box for Spalding.
And BL's going to start with possession on the far side with TJ Shaw.
They did put 17 in the box, so he was the initial violator, came back on the field. That was all good.
Quick 30-second penalty. As Shaw has it. It goes to Keller. Keller goes low with Goluboski on his back. Makes an amazing save quickly. Up top it goes to Carson Blair. Blair with great speed. Over it goes to Moss. Moss lets it free. I can't tell, Coach, if that was a save by Connor, if it hit somebody on the way in. Connor doing his best version of an attackman behind the cage as he topples to the ground.
You can't knock
No penalty calls. It's still being battled for
They need to get it out, up and out.
Well, back and forth we go as Meredith has it. Meredith hasn't hit midfield yet. As Berger is waiting for him.
Well, Meredith has shown some really unbelievable stick skills today. We talked about that before the game, that he's got a slick stick and he's shown some really nice stuff. There's a flag down. Spalding's offside again.
As a former coach, that probably really burns you a little bit, right? Not once, but twice. That's more of a mental error than anything. As BL now is going to run that offense as they know they have an extra man opportunity coming their way. Shaw behind the cage, looking inside. Reverses it over to Connor Keller. Far side it goes for Lynch. Higgins now goes back to Lynch. Lynch is going to try his hand. Slide comes quickly on him. And Higgins goes right back to him, so they love this matchup here, obviously. Lynch gets top side, putting his body down. Over to Keller. Goes Keller through the teeth of the defense. Double team comes. Another great save by Goluboski. You can't fault Keller, Coach. He's gone low. He's gone low offside. That's where you want to go. Goluboski's just been up for the challenge.
Well, the one that Keller took on extra man, I think he was a little too far out. Goluboski had too much time. That was a really good shot and a great save by Goluboski. That's 2 in a row on Keller.
So, Coach, I think I'm trying to get some clarification on whether this is a 30 or 1 minute penalty. It's going to be a 1 minute penalty against Spalding as we get set for this rehab to perform extra man opportunity. I didn't see exactly what happened.
I think it was something that evolved, that happened in that loose ball down there behind the goal. I'm guessing because it's on Schwab, number 0. He was riding. Good stick by number 9. Great stick.
Yeah, let's see who's going to come up. But even better ground ball by Shaw. Shaw, as they say, get rid of it quickly. Lynch has it over up top to Higgins.
Plenty of time.
Oh, inside it goes. Great defensive stop there. Who's going to come out of it? Oh, hits the referee's foot. Spalding gets bailed out there, hits the referee's foot. I thought BL was going to pick it up. Goluboski with possession. We have 20, though, that has to expire on this penalty. If there's one, you run, and that's exactly what Brady LaRochelle did. Probably not a great decision. Ball hits the ground, and BL back on the clear. Penalties expired. Both teams are going to be even as Burgess brings it into BL's offensive side of the field.
Boys Lads had 2 extra man opportunities. It has nothing to show for it. It's like, I think a questionable feed that time into the crease. You know, one of the things defense is told to do in just about all situations is you cover up inside and then work inside out. And they really did a nice job on the crease, Spalding did.
Fick with possession, and possession has been all BL here in the third period. Fick motions if he's going to let it go. He does not. Now they move Keller over to the other side. Keller can't get his hands free. Trying to get on the inside. He does with his left hand. Misses the cage as he elevates. Oh, they're going to say in the crease.
Goluboski got a piece of that. He is playing some game, this young man.
Well, I think Keller had them fooled. I think they thought he was going to throw the point behind. He decides to put his shoulder down, gets inside, goes airborne, and to your point, Goluboski, I think, got a piece of that. As the instant clearing machine, Braylon Jones has possession. And we haven't said this much, Coach, but Spalding now on attack. You know, I think enough can't be said about the play of Goluboski so far for Spalding. Oh, inside it goes. He missed the cage. BL confused. I think they thought they were going to reverse it back up top to Moss. And Gavin Carpenter had one that he only dreams about, and he misses the cage wide, but Mollett's going to have possession. And here we go behind. Slide comes quickly from the crease. Yep. You're exactly right, Coach. top goes with Moss. Moss has that high ball screen. He uses it. Barrett's able to get through it. And Spalding now is going to throw the ball out of bounds. I'm a little surprised, Coach, at the amount of unforced errors, considering we're in mid-season form here. Lack of concentration by both teams. You think defense playing a role?
Well, defense is playing a little role for sure, but simple passes, look at this. I mean, it's
right on cue.
Just, they got to break it. Boys, I got to break at one end, and then they just turn it right back over at the other end.
Yeah, Schwab has it. He looks far side. And a sneak comes behind, and that's a goal for MIAA, Coach. And that's difficult for a defense, right? When you play such great defense, you throw the ball away. And there's not much that Connor could do there as we get ready to head to break. Spalding does a nice job in unsettled offense. As here comes MIAA around the cage. Fakes high, goes low. Spalding, 5-3.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? Nah, no such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
All right, welcome back to live action here at Whittles Field on the campus of Archbishop Spalding, as we've seen the Cavaliers increase their lead ever so slightly by 2. Can't say that's been the result of great settled offense, probably more result of being taking advantage of mistakes made by BL.
Hey, look, BL threw the ball away at the end of the first half, and Spalding went right down and converted. Beautiful. They just threw the ball away again, and Spalding did a phenomenal job. They threw 2 or 3 passes, 4 passes. Mollett's down on the doorstep. Ball's in the back of the cage. They've taken advantage of, Spalding has taken great advantage of the mistakes.
Well, we're going to have as they say, there may be an arm bar there on Hoffman as he throws Cooper Johnson to the turf.
Johnson's been a load in this game. He's done a really nice job. He's won every face-off this half.
Yeah, that he has, and that's not what you wanted if you're BL now trailing by 2, lose the possession on the face-off, and as we've seen all day, a steady dose of the first-line middies for Spalding. Blake Morris running towards the cage. Little shot, Coach, that we've seen just primarily one midfield from Spalding?
Pretty much. They mixed and matched the midfield earlier. They ran a couple other guys in with Moss one time, but pretty much they've stuck with this group.
Moss challenging Barrett. Barrett not able to get through the screen cleanly, but he does the job well as he's able to stop Moss from going to the cage. Mollett now, hard drive right. He goes high, and Mollett is hot, Coach, and he's feeling it as he beats Meredith top side.
Well,
Spalding now on top 6-3.
That set a nice pick. Meredith got picked off, and the man covering the picker had to slide there, and he didn't do it. Mollett got a half a step around, actually more than a half a step around the goal with a beautiful individual effort. Mollett's got 3 goals. Watch this. Pick set here. Meredith gets hung up, and Erdo's 45's a little late getting, helping Meredith out there. He needed to switch very quickly.
You know, the thing to me about Mollett is they do a great job on him in the first half, but it's just constant pressure from him, and sooner or later he's going to take advantage of that, which he has so far. But great ground ball there by Cooper Reed. Reed coming through the teeth of the defense. He goes low. Goluboski's up for it. Shaw, though, misses the cage, backed up nicely, though, by BL, and they're going to maintain possession.
Goluboski, I hate to keep beating the same drum. He's really had a terrific game. That was a quality save there, and Shaw had his hands free, and maybe the product of he missed the goal because Goluboski saved everything on the goal, just about everything.
Yeah, that's a great point, that sometimes it gets into your head and you start trying to do too much rather than just keep it simple. You end up missing the cage because your mindset is, he's going to save it if I get it on cage.
You watch the Big Tasty at Ohio State play. It's amazing how many pipes other teams hit because of him being in the cage, because you got to be so fine when he's in the goal, so you're shooting maybe a little bit wider than you want to.
Vick starts with possession. He has Berger on him as we're down to 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. That's been action-packed. It started off all BL, and it shifted to now being all Spalding. BL with possession behind. Kelly getting top side, puts his shoulder down, switches to his left, gets inside, tries to let it go.
Great trail check by number 19, who's had number 19, Braylon Jones, and Carson Blair are two very, very good short stick defensive middies.
I would agree, Coach. Not only are they great on-ball defenders, but they can do things like this where they can make your clearing life real easy. As an errant pass there gets to Connor. Connor throws it the length of the field. Goluboski wants to get another save. He's unable to, as that's the way the third quarter is going to end, as Spalding now with a lead of 6-3, as we see some highlights here of your guy Goluboski as he's fired up, and we are too for the fourth quarter. Please come back with us.
If you're a 2027 lacrosse player and still uncommitted, this is your last real shot. Most good players miss recruiting because they choose the wrong events. This isn't that. The National All-Star Games Uncommitted 2027 is the final recruiting event of the summer. Coaches come here to complete their classes. For a lot of players, this is where it could finally happen. If you're serious about playing in college, apply now.
The 2026 MIAA Lacrosse Game of the Week is presented by Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis, your Baltimore Annapolis area Lexus dealer. O2 Sports Insurance, the #1 sports insurance in the USA. The town of Ocean City, something to smile about. St. Paul's School for Boys, strong self, shared success. Rehab to Perform. Stay ready to perform with Rehab to Perform physical therapy. Don't be left on the sidelines. And Advanced Radiology. Trusted by more doctors. Preferred by more patients.
All right, down the home stretch we go as we head into this fourth quarter, as Spalding now has extended their lead by 3 as they are on top by a score of 6-3. Over Boys Latin as we get ready for the Rogers Knapp group of Merrill Lynch face-off to get things started here.
That visual right there was Boys Latin's offensive coordinator, Tim Rotans, talking to his offense, trying to give them some tips for this last quarter. Face-offs have been an issue. Johnson, number 2, has dominated them in this quarter. And overall, that's swung significantly in Spalding's favor.
I would agree. Johnson has been a difference, and he just wins that draw. Hoffman's been good, but he just hasn't been good enough. And Spalding's going to start this half. with possession as we have the first middies back on board for the Cavaliers.
Schwab's been very quiet, number 0 over there today. Really hasn't handled the ball too much. He's more of a kind of a room and time shooter. And that's been, I think, fortunate for BL because he's really got a terrific.
Wow, Mollett there with a charge. You can see just how difficult it is to stay with him as Meredith, very athletic defender, headed to Richmond. Getting all that he can handle today. Mollett goes on the inside instead of shooting. Shot is wide. And BL is going to be able to clear as we're just underway here in the fourth quarter. It's been a good one. And it's been a good one primarily because we've seen some outstanding goaltending on both sides. Golubowski for Spalding and Connor for BL.
Connor's been left out to dry here this quarter. He had an outstanding first half, but Spalding's had a couple layups this quarter.
And that's Connor Keller, number 51, initiating from behind. He's not able to get his hands free over Braylon Jones. And I agree, Coach. I think these two short stick middies are probably the best in the league. It's been the best I've seen. Is BL now is going to draw a penalty. It's going to probably be a 30-second push.
Well, that time, Carson Blair's guilty of doing exactly what Colt Erdos did for BL. You know, he had his man going down, and he pushed him. That's what happened to Erdos when he pushed Mollett over.
It's like TJ Shaw has it. He looks to the inside, and that's going to be a save there by Golubowski. BL still maintains possession. And Burgess tried to get it up to Keller. He can't. As we get ready for this extra man opportunity with about 10 minutes to go here in the final period. 30-second push for possession. And here we go, Coach. Passing the inside. They can't get it.
Did the goalie get a piece of that?
Yeah, it looks like he got a piece of it.
They didn't reset the shot clock. That's okay. Boys Lad's got a 30-second extra man.
And this is a 30-second extra man brought to us by the Rehab to Perform group. Over it goes down low to Burgess. Burgess looking inside but back up top. Inside it goes. Opts not to shoot. BL still with possession. And a shot, and I think that one, Coach, either hit the post or Golubowski may have gotten his hands on that as Higgins goes low to low, but BL's going to maintain possession.
I think that got a piece of the post. Nice play by Shaw getting to that end line as the penalty was up. And the guy came out of the box and the penalty, and the ball was coming right at him. Shaw beat him to the punch. Give Boyell the possession back.
Shaw's going to start this possession behind. He has a short stick on him. Comes around to his left, putting his shoulder down. Yeah, he does. He's successful in drawing yet another penalty. As he gets inside, he goes low, and he finally beats Golubowski between the 5-hole. Great individual effort there by Shaw to draw Boys Latin now within 2 at 6-4.
Well, there's a good possession. Boys Latin had that ball for close to a minute and a half. They had an extra man. They had a couple decent shots on the extra man. Shaw made a really nice play over here on the sideline, keeping possession of that ball off the shot that was bouncing around in front of the Boys Latin bench, and then took it upon himself to finish it.
And, Coach, it looks like that penalty is going to apply, and it appears Spalding's going to be facing off man down.
No, he called the flag down was a hold, and that hold is, it's negated
Wiped
by
off.
the goal.
Yeah, and this is a big face-off for both teams, but certainly for BL as they're trying to get back into this, now only trailing by 2. With that being said, they've sent out number 28, Alonzo Wallace, to go head-to-head with Cooper Johnson. Johnson, who's probably had the better of all BL face-off men today, is down and ready to go. And Wallace looks like he has a clamp. He doesn't have it totally. Barrett's in there trying to get it. And nice job, as we've seen all day, as Carson Blair doing the dirty work, Coach. Doesn't get a lot of mention, but that was a big face-off, an important one for Spalding as they airmail a pass. And let's see who's going to get this tough ground ball. And looks like Spalding's going to get it. And they're calling for a hold there on the sideline.
The 60-second clock was up.
Yeah, to that point now, possession back to BL as they have life.
It's okay to take the ball back over the midline as long as you still got 20 seconds to clear it, and they were just a little late getting it back across the midline under that, under that 20-second count.
So, Coach, it looks like BL is going to continue to try to initiate from behind with the short on short. We've seen a lot of that. We've seen a steady dose of that today. And that's what we are going to do is Lynch not only initiates but is actually successful as he pumps his fist into the air. And now BL only trails by one. Kind of hard to believe. It felt like Spalding had this under control.
Pretty much under control. The only mistake I've seen, I don't think he's quite ready for this, Goluboski.
To me, maybe, up. But to your point, maybe he thinks he's going low. That's what I see. Yeah. But he doesn't, and he sneaks it over his shoulder.
Might have dropped his stick a little bit there. Lynch took advantage. That's one of the few mistakes.
Yeah, Coach Farrell says, I like what I see from Alonzo Wallace. We're going to send him back out again to go head-to-head with Cooper Johnson. BL now only trailing by one. Johnson pulls it behind. Spalding fans calling for a hold. They're not going to get it. Johnson doing some great work. And now possession back to BL. And you got Barrett open in the middle field. He comes over to Keller. Keller goes high to high. Easy save there by Goluboski. Now you got it clear. Keller trailing, trying to negate that mistake. Over it goes to Mollett. Mollett can't handle it. Tough ground ball needing to be picked up.
Erdo's guilty of a push there.
Ooh, loose ball push. Possession now back to Spalding. As Erdos kind of bails them out with a push. But BL, Coach, plenty of time as they now only trail by one. We have seen Mollett really start to be able to penetrate this BL defense, getting some help from his teammates, but his speed and quickness are starting to take over. Assuming we'll see some of that here in this possession. Spalding starts the offense by initiating up top. Shot. Connor goes low. Great save. Possession maintained by Mollett and the Cavaliers.
I think that was Schwab out there on that spot that he loves to shoot from. Good save by Connor.
And here we go. Mollett starting with possession. Goes hard to his right. Pulls back out. Draws a screen. Up top it goes. Low to high by Colby Evans. May have surprised Connor, but that was set up by the quickness of Mollett. He gets a pick behind, gets his hands free. Defense isn't quick enough to react. Cavaliers now up 7-5.
Well, the defense is watching Mollett, and they're so intent on paying attention to Mollett. They forgot number 6 out here. Evans a good player. He's a quality shooter.
I'm sorry, Coach. I think that's my mistake. I actually think that might have been number 8. Sometimes it's hard to see the difference between 8 and 6. I think that might have been Blake Morris for the Cavaliers that got that
that's one
goal.
Of the other middies that they run in. 6. It was confirmed.
It was 6.
Actually.
So my eyes did not deceive me. It was 6. Johnson can't pick it up one-handed. Lack of fundamentals don't penalize him as Goluboski now has it on the clear. He looks upfield.
That's La Rochelle, whose brother was such a great player here over the last 3 or 4 years. He's stepping into his brother's footsteps.
Wow, some confusion in front of the Spalding bench. It looked like it was going to go to, the pass was going to go to Morris, and then a teammate steps in front of him and knocks it to the ground, kind of friendly fire.
He's allowed to step into the field a little bit further than the sideline.
We've talked a lot about Goluboski's saves, but he's really been clean in the clearing game, not only executing but making great decisions.
It was like offsides. You got to be kidding me.
Well, the refs counting it up, Coach. You said BL might have been offsides.
They were offsides, and the refs missed it because the guy came in out of the box behind him, but he was late. BL got away with one there.
Ball up top to Fick. Fick over to Reed. Reed has Carson Blair on him.
Boys Latin wants to double invert here. They got 2 shorties behind the goal against the short stick defensive middies for Spalding.
Kelly to his right. Draws the switch, but it really doesn't do much as he gets another short stick on him. But Kelly comes around to his left. Probably could have taken that one more step, Coach, as you hear so often, one more step to glory. Backed up, though, by Cooper Reed. BL maintains possession. Fick having a nice game for the Lakers, doing a lot of work offensively for them. Kemp comes around again to his left. Another save there by Goluboski.
That time for sure he should have come one more step. Kemp's got 2 left-handed goals.
Spalding's got a guy wide open in the middle of the field. If they want for a break, they opt not to. Easy clear for the Cavaliers, as they may have dodged a bullet, as Braylon Jones does what he does so well, and that's put on the afterburners and get Spalding out of trouble. First line back in for the Cavaliers. Just had Gavin Carpenter coming out of the box. Carpenter has a short stick on him. He gets to the middle of the field, gets down the inside, keeps coming. Shot and a score. I'm not sure if he passed that, Coach, or if it was right place, right time, but it doesn't matter, as Spalding now is up by 3 with just under 5 minutes to go.
I think the ball gets checked out of his stick there, and it went right into Evans' stick. Let's see. Yep. It's a great play. Spalding up by 3. 5 minutes left.
Kelly Benefits helps employers and employees save time, money, and hassle in navigating the intricacies of insurance, benefits, and payroll challenges. Kelly Benefits is pleased to be a sponsor of the MIAA Championships. Visit kellybenefits.com to put our people, technology, and solutions to work for you.
If you're a 2027 lacrosse player and still uncommitted, this is your last real shot. Most good players miss recruiting because they choose the wrong events. This isn't that. The National All-Star Games Uncommitted 2027 is the final recruiting event of the summer. Coaches come here to complete their classes. For a lot of players, this is where it could finally happen. If you're serious about playing in college, apply now.
All right, we're back to live action here at Whittles Field on the campus of Archbishop Spalding High School, as the Cavaliers have pushed their lead up to 3, as we see the Rehab to Perform upcoming broadcast. May 1st, we have Calvert Hall at Boys Latin, and then the battle on May 5th, Severn at St. Mary's, Coach.
Well, the 5th of May is Rivalry Tuesday. Ends the MIAA regular season. Loyola, Calvert Hall, Boys Latin, St. Paul's, Severn, St. Mary's, Gilman, McDonough to finish it out, and it's quite a day. And it usually comes down to some significant playoff situations on that last Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have never seen a St. Mary's Severn game live. I'm looking forward to it. But to your point, such a great day in the MIAA with those rivalry games. As they say, the records don't matter much those days because the teams are both invested in it mentally and physically. You never know what you're going to see as we get ready for this face-off after Spalding has now pushed that lead up to 8-5. Alonzo Wallace back out again for BL. But that Cooper Johnson has just been a headache, a real big headache for the Lakers, as he's prevented them from getting any kind of sustainable momentum as he's won face-off after face-off. The first line coming back out again for Spalding. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, they got 8 in. He usually runs with the second line, but 17 and Moss are both guys on the first line, so 8's just subbing in, giving Gutierrez a break.
Mollett now gets that screen behind, that pick behind the cage. He's going to draw that short stick matchup. This is probably going to be a tough one for Erdos. Erdos athletic, but Mollett, as we know, great feet and sees the field so well. As you see, he's dodging, but always with his head up, looking on the inside, looking for cutters on the inside. As we're now down to 20 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Mollett with a step. Offside it goes, back inside. And looks like Colby Evans decides he does not want to shoot, as they're going to have to do something quickly. It looks like they're just going to let this one die, Coach. You think that was by design?
Now, once Mollett didn't get away from anybody, I think they decided, hey, let's just eat up the remaining time on the shot clock, throw it out of bounds, and make Boys Latin clear.
Well, BL has time, but they're going to need to move quickly, and they're going to have to be efficient. And to Coach's point, they can't be throwing the ball away and creating unforced errors if they want to try to not only tie this thing, but then come out of here with a very important victory as they look to try to get into the playoff picture. Connor Keller has it as he gets topside, dips that shoulder down, doesn't like what he sees, goes up top to his brother. Back behind it goes to Higgins. Higgins deals over to his left, rolls back to his right. No cutters on the inside as BL is kind of flat up top. Keller now up top. He lets it go. Oh, that's an easy one there for Goluboski, high to high. Goluboski, one of his rare unforced errors, though, as he puts his head up into the air, trying to get a break. He was trying to lead the defender there, Coach, but let him too much. And possession now back to BL.
Yeah, Goluboski had plenty of time there. He just rushed it, but he was throwing it to Blair, who's also a terrific player with the ball on his sticks.
Yeah, come back with us as we're getting ready set for the home stretch.
The 2026 MIAA Lacrosse Game of the Week is presented by Crabs Lacrosse, Baltimore Crabs, locally grown, nationally known. The Rogers Knapp Group of Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, personalized strategies for your long-term goals. Kelly Benefits, the official benefits partner of the MIAA Championships. Toyota, the official non-luxury vehicle of the MIAA Championships. Let's go places. CFG Bank, revolutionizing the banking experience. 5-Star, connecting creators, athletes, and the best sports highlights. And Lido Pizza, the preferred pizza of the MIAA.
All right, we're back live here on the campus of Archbishop Spalding. As Coach, we're looking at the Sheehy Lexus player of the game, and that is going to be Mollett, headed to the University of Maryland, and he was as advertised.
He had a terrific game, and what I really like about him is he doesn't seem to force things. He has a ball in his stick an awful lot, but he rarely makes bad decisions with it. He's a quality player. It's clearly one of the top 2 or 3 offensive players in the league.
Yeah, that he is, and got off to a slow start, but has certainly finished strong as BL was rewarded this possession by an errant pass by Goluboski after an easy save there on Keller. Possession is behind, back up top it goes to Keller. Keller reverses it over to Fick. And behind here we go with Higgins. Higgins looking for some help. He gets it from Kelly. But again, you have 2 shorties behind, so doesn't really do as much for you. I thought they might get a hold there, they being BL, but they're not.
He missed that. I don't think he stepped into the crease there. There's so many lines on this field because of football and women's lacrosse. I'm not so sure he was that close to the crease that time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought it was going to be a hold before it was that. Now,
look at Blair run that thing down.
Great
That's
job
a nice
there.
play.
As they say, speed kills, and you can't teach speed. And this is not great for BL as a flag has been dropped. And, Coach, are we going to have another offsides here? Or did he pick that flag up? Looks like he picked the flag up.
They're down. They got too many men on the field at the defensive end. They're down. They're offsides. Number 50, Joey Keller. Number 20, Joey Keller did a great job getting back on defense. But as an attackman, getting back on defense, it's really important that the rest of the team recognize that and keep one of the middies on side.
And with an extra defender, you can do things like doubling the ball. And as you see Mollett, we talked about that earlier. Boy, he's such an asset in situations like this when you're just looking to kill the clock. He can just run away from pressure. Spalding in no hurry.
Well, they can eat it all up, and then as soon as the whistle blows.
Boy, to that point, I guess.
Well, as soon as the whistle blows, they're going to get another reset on the shot clock, 60 seconds. And unless they really mess up, this game is pretty much in the bank for the Cavaliers, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They've been playing really, really good lacrosse. They could have very easily been undefeated at this point. They had a 10-4 lead at McDonough and gave it away and lost by a goal. It's their only loss on the year, and they're playing some really quality lacrosse. For BL, this is their fourth straight They started the year 2-0 in the league, and this is their fourth straight loss. And it's been a long time since BL's lost 4 games in a row in the conference. But it's one of the things that makes this conference very good. Nobody backs down, you know.
Well, Coach, to your point there, we're just a couple weeks away from that playoff run. Calvert Hall wins last year. Thoughts on who may be some of those teams vying for the championship in 2026?
Well, Calvert Hall's undefeated. They've answered all comers. I think Spalding's improved. McDonough's really very good. They got an exceptional offense and a face-off guy that gets them the ball on a regular basis. But in this, look, for the last 11 years, McDonough and Calvert Hall have really been the standard bearers in the league. BL snuck in there in 21. St. Mary's in 15. But, McDonough and Calvert Hall, they could be right there again this spring. But I like Spalding. I like the way they play. They play hard. They got a great offense. Starting with Mollett on the attack. And Goluboski has made some wonderful saves today. This is his first start this year. And if he can play this way, that's going to be a really good thing for the Cavaliers.
Well, out of the dead ball, that timeout was called by Coach Farrell BL to set up strategy, and that strategy looks to be like we're going to double. Mollett doesn't challenge. He throws it across the field, not able to be picked up initially. Berger has it. Oh, boy, what a nice job there by Berger. And the ball's on the turf, but that's using a lot of time. And it looks like Colt Erdos is going to come out of it. BL now needs to hurry, trailing by 3. Up top it goes to Barrett. Barrett looking for some help, goes down low to Keller. BL taking way too much time here, coaches. We're now down almost 20. And Keller having a hard time winning his matchup behind the cage. Spalding's going to pick it up with just 15 left to go, and I think it's safe to say that's the way this one is going to end, as Carson Blair does what he does best, and that is clear it by himself as he flips it back behind to Moss. And we're down to 1. Moss throws it in the air, and that's going to do it as the Cavaliers win a critical matchup today. As you see everyone gather around Goluboski to celebrate him, and BL dejectedly headed over to Blake Connor, who had a great game, Coach, but unfortunately just wasn't enough.
Well, I think Cavaliers took advantage of a couple bad mistakes, just catching and throwing. BL made to score 2 goals. Their 8th goal was a fortunate bounce, but they were in position. Evans was right there on the crease. The ball bounced right up into his stick, and he scored. But give Spalding great credit for taking advantage of the breaks that they were given.
Yeah, it's interesting. BL loses 8-5. It's close. I think it was a lot closer than that. BL certainly has a lot of talent. Probably to your point, too many errors, and Spalding then's able to take advantage of it as we see some of these highlights here as BL gets off to a quick start. But unfortunately for them, it's going to be the Cavaliers who come out on top today as they move to 5-1 in the conference, winning by a score of 8-5.